All right, hi everybody. I am not feeling the greatest, so excuse my voice. But I was requested from some listeners from Starfield Raw, the podcast I do with my buddies Rook and Archon. I have a gnat flying around my microphone. It's really annoying. Anyway, uh, some of the listeners have asked that I do a little demo instruction for shipbuilding, so that's what I'm going to do. Let's design and build a ship, shall we? And I'm at the Eklund Stroud shipyard because they have the best engines in the game, and I like their habs. So we're gonna take the Frontier and just strip it and redo it. So we're gonna take this little gem and we're gonna tear it to pieces and rebuild it. So go into shipbuilder. And why am I lagging? What is up with that? Every time when I stream. So I really don't want anything on this ship. So we're just going to delete. We're just going to do a ship from the ground up. And when you do delete parts, you do get credits for them. It's not very much, only a fraction of what the actual cost of them is, but you do get credits back. All right, so now we have a blank slate. We have nothing over here, nothing on the bottom. We're going to start with our hab units. So let's just go to add. Let me see. I'm going to just build an overall ship, so it's going to have good cargo, good weaponry, but not like accelerating in both. I'm just going to do a generic, simple design. But let's start out with our hab design. That's going to give us a good layout. And Eklund Stroud, in my opinion, has the best habs, the best looking on the interior. And you can just, when you go to a certain size you want to do, you just go left and right, and you can change what type you want to do. So I definitely want to do, I want two particular. I want living quarters, and then I want, so we'll put the living quarters in. I like that one. We'll do a 2x2. So now we got our attachment points, our attachment nodes. Excuse me, it just flew. Those little points right here, and we can actually click on them. Once the lag's done, we can do attach for G, and it will attach to that point. But I don't want to do that point, actually. I want to do the front. Well, maybe I shouldn't have done a 2x2. Oh, I know what we can do. I know exactly what we can do. Okay. So I'm going to attach with G, and I'm going to get the particular one I'm looking for. I believe it's a 2x1, so workshop. That way I have all my tables in there. So we'll add that. You can see the total that I'm developing on the right. And let's add another hab unit here just to make it equaled out. So let's do, I don't want a captain's quarters, get a control station. No, I'm going to just do another useful one. Let's do the science lab. Alright, so now we got to put in all the goodies. We have our habs. So if you look down here, it says 9 errors. Don't worry about that until you get everything put on, because you'll do flight check and it shows you everything you're missing. But now I got to figure out what I'm going to do about the design. So I might move things around. But I'm going to put in my cockpit. Oh, they have crud cockpits. I forgot about that. You see, I don't like this, so we're going to have to do something a little different on this layout. We'll want to attach that. We'll make this, we'll put this one this way, here on this side. I'll attach this one here. That'll avoid any ladders, except for, the entrance. Now we can do our cockpit. What do I want to do? Where do I want to attach it? I'll do the Viking. I'm going to change it later because I don't really care for these ones, but I got our cockpit. It's one of the big things we needed. So underneath, we're going to put in our base because we definitely need a landing bay. See that one, and you can rotate them by using Z, or if you're a controller, it's a different, and flip it, but that one just goes off to the side. I don't know if I like that. So we'll just do a standard NG. We're going to have to put a bunch of landing gear, so we got to keep that in mind when we're doing this. We're going to set cargo on the side of these. But I also got to keep in mind, I got to put in weapon ports, so we'll do some designs for that. Usually I have to redesign a couple things as I go about doing it. And keep in mind your cargo does increase your mass. Mass is very critical when you're designing a ship. And the hull is the amount of damage your ship can take. The more hull you have, the better. But it's also going to add to your mass. And mass is going to mean you need more thrust and more maneuverability to get your ship moving around. But we're going to put in the top of the line engines on this thing. So pretty much anything I put on this thing, this beast will just fly. Alright. I want to put in some good ones. This one has 1480 cargo. So I did two of those. Or 1480, right? Yeah. So I did two of those. It'd be 2960 total cargo, which would be pretty good, not including the cargo I get from the cockpit. So, and I can do. And the nice thing about these cargo holes, the galleon, is it's got. I'm sitting there pointing at it like you're gonna see that, but it's got 4 different attachment nodes to it, and a lot of these don't. Like that one only has 2. They only have 2, but this one will have 4 connecting points to it, connecting nodes, which is nice. These don't have any. They have the one connecting point. That's it. So if you're looking to design one that looks like a big storage vessel, like a classic cargo ship from the old, then you definitely would like to use those. But I'm gonna go with the galleons. I'm gonna put 2 in. And put 1 there. And put 1 on this side. I'm probably going to move things around to make things look better, but we're just going for a basic design right now. So we got our cargo, we got our cockpit, we got our hab units, and we got our landing bay. So we need to get landing gear put on eventually, but let's do some aesthetic stuff here. So we'll go into structural. Structural is where you get all your aesthetic stuff. And keep in mind the connecting points when you're doing structural. Those are very important. That one can't be flipped. I don't like that view. Every time I stream, my game likes to lag out. You know what? I'm gonna put that one in, but I want to put it up here on this node. They add mass, the structural, but they add very little mass, and they just help with the design of the ship. Probably one of the more important things of the ship, but people don't realize. But you know what? I'm gonna forego that. I'm gonna put in my power here. So we'll get our reactors in. I'm going to put in the top line stuff because I've got the cash to burn. There's one of them that gives you, you want to look, when you're looking at your reactors, you want to look at the power generated, the repair rate, and the reactor health, as well as the hull it gives. So you want to put in all 4 of those like as a factor. The most important being power generated, then the repair rate is also critically important. And there is one that does give you 40. I don't know if it's available at Ackland Stroud. I thought it was. So I might have to put in a 39 for now. It'd definitely be the most expensive one out. I know that if you go to any of the basic shipyards, in Aquila, in Neon, New Atlantis, you can get the top of the line one. If you have piloting and starship design maxed, it's the only way you can get it. So we'll just put in the mag internal. Well, one thing I like about these particular ones, the reactors, is that they do have attachment points on all sides, which is very useful. Not all of them do. So 56,000 down the tube. Alright, so now we got our power source. Now let's attach our grav drive. Another important one. And the amount of light years you can jump is going to be based on 3 factors really. Your power unit, so your reactor, the grav drive itself, and the mass of your ship. Hey Buffy Cat, it's going pretty good. Just going over a demo of how to do this ship. I'm going to be uploading this to YouTube later. And how to build, basically. So I'm just building a ship from the ground up. Using the Frontier as a model, I stripped it down completely and just doing it from scratch. Maybe not be the best design, but it's a design. Alright, so need a good stinking grav drive. And there's the top of the line one right there. That thing costs an absolute fortune. 11 max power. Well, it's not top of the line, it's the second to the top, I believe. And it's got a good grav jump thrust, which is very important. It's got 50. And the drive health is like your third least important thing. It's also the most expensive component, individual component that you'll buy. Like this one. Almost 100,000 for this. Not the best, but you know what? It'll work for this purpose. So as of right now, I have a 30 light year jump range, which is decent. It's really, really decent. If you're above 22, you're doing good. Okay, so now we got 3240 cargo currently. Max crew size is only 2, but we'll fix that out. Our jump range is, well, that has a lot to do with our cockpit, but my crew station is 4. We'll get there. Alright, so now we got 2 of the important components in. I don't want to put engines in until I get the design set. So we do got to put weapons in. And I'm going to put in, let me see a good attachment point here. Let's try this one. We're going to go back to, we'll get shields put in, structural. That's too big. I want to do like a wing cowl. So we'll put in these and we'll do an attachment off of that to get past our cargo. I'm just kind of winging it. I don't have any design in mind. I'm just kind of going for it. Do I need to flip that? No, that's good. Where's my mass? Mass is quite extensive. 903 already. Eesh. That's alright. So not all of these will allow weapon attachments. That's an important thing to know. This one I believe does, but I don't like the look of it. I could do something funky like that and have that as the side cowl. That could look cool in the end, really. I can attach engines to it. You know what? For giggles, let's go for it and see. See how it looks in the end. And I'm just putting these in. Oop, need to flip it. No. Ah, poo. So there's got to be another one I can attach. Oh, there we go. We'll use that as our weapon junction points. Let's put some initial landing gear in. Landing gear is one thing I always struggle with designing to make them look right. And how much gear you need depends on the mass of your ship. And I've got a pretty massive ship right now. All it has is this? Eklund, you're killing me. I'll have to change it. So we're going to have to put in a literal ton of these things to make it work. Once we get the initial design done, we'll get and look through the flight check and see what we need to fix. There's almost always something I got to fix. I don't know if I'm going to be able to put one of these here. You know what? We'll put it here. Man, the lag is just killing me. We'll start off with 7. It's going to look kind of goofy in the front. I'll have to change that out later. All right. Let's see what we got to add in now. We can start, I guess we could start doing, we got to do the fuel tanks. So let's figure out a good spot for the fuel tanks. These will increase your jump capacity. So I don't want to put those there. I want to put them on the sides. Put them here. Those are the best. They're bulky and they have a decent amount of mass. They're the best. These have a better design though. Jet fuel 70. Those have 210, so you only need like one of those to really do anything. But we'll add 2. And the more fuel we have, the less breaks we have to take in between jumps. More skips to get to the far out places. Let's add an engine here. Now the trick is getting these particular engines. If you can afford it, I can't recommend the South 6330s enough. We're going to put several of them in. But they're also 44,000 credits apiece. So we're already up to 283,000, and we still are missing a lot of the critical components. You know what? Let's go ahead and finish off the engines. I think I might just do it like this. We'll put that one there. On this node. I can fit one more engine if I want to, which I might do that. I might stack it on top right here. But I need to get a... I'll worry about that later. Okay, so let's get some the other components in, shall we? We have a lot of our base components in. We have our gear, our engines, we have our grav drive, our reactor, our fuel. But there's still more we got to put in. We need to put in a Docker. That's going to be important. So I might have to rethink where I'm going to put that. This one always gets me. Every time I wait too long to put the Docker in, and it causes problems. All right. So what I might do is I'm going to move this up here. And we'll put a spot here. Let me see. I don't know if we can do... Let's do some structural. I could put a half unit there though, half, but one by one, and then put that there. But that's going to require a lot of like going up and down ladders. Which I might have to do that actually. Let's put a hab there. Because you want your docking to be either at the highest point of the ship or the lowest point. Huh, I wonder. Let's see if this will work. Let's put... See if our docking... Where did I miss it? Oh, I can't put a docking station there. Ah! See, it won't let me. So we'll just delete that. Let's put a hab. That will be, because it's not going to be as high as the other parts. Unless I get rid of this, because I don't think that's going to work. I could put that. That will work. That should work. And my errors, let's do a little quick flight check. It's going to talk about weapons. Weapons is going to be the big one. I see weapon, missing, and shield, so... That exceed reactor. My reactor is the wrong class? Oh, it's a B class. Oh, we got to fix that. You can't put parts in. Your reactor is your key part of your ship, so good learning point, I guess. I want to put, if I plan on putting C-class parts on the ship, I got to make sure I have a C-class reactor. So I'm probably going to have to go to a different shipyard to put in the reactor I want, but for now, for this purposes, we'll just find a good C-class and slap it in. Oh, I think this is the one I want right here. No, it's not. But it'll work. But this may not work. Let me see. So yeah, see, invalid dock module position. That's what I was worried about. Alright. This is not higher than my reactor or my grav drive. Let's put a hab in. So 1 by 1 should work. And we'll make it a companionway. That'll work. Now if I put on the docking bay here, it's going to be a long ladder. It's going to be a 3-story ladder, but for the purposes of this will work. Okay, see the warning, the critical went away. So all we have left is warnings, which is going to be weapon based, and the shield. So we obviously need to have a shield. You don't have to have it. Like, I could literally take this ship and fly away with it right now. I would just have no shield and no weapons. So I'd have no defensive whatsoever. You see my top speed is not the greatest. Well, 130 is pretty good. My mass is a little bit high, but we'll put we're gonna put a 6th engine in somewhere. I'll figure that out. But for now, let's get the rest of the critical components in, shall we? Where do we want to put a shield? We can put it right here on this spot. Now with shields, you obviously want to look at shield max health, max power, and the regen rate. Max health and regen rate are the top priority. I think one of the experimental ones is like the best one to get. This Gnat. So this one is a Class C. It's got 10 power, max shield, 1190, and the regen of 5%. We can do better, I believe. Max power is 12, regen 5 with a 16. That's our winner. No, I'm not moving that. Alright, let's put some weapons in. Or no, I want to figure out this last engine spot. So I would like to put 6 in. This is going to look goofy, but put in some structural. If I wasn't streaming right now, it would be fluid. I wouldn't have this lag. An engine brace. I think we need to go up higher. I think this is too low. So I'm just looking for something I can mount the engine to. That wouldn't look too bad. But I think this is going to be too low, but let's check. And you got to be careful though, because you cannot put more than 12 power on anything. If you look up here, where I have my shield and my grav drive, that's the max is 12. You can't go above 12. So when you're doing your engines, you want to look at the power required for the engines. Like on this Dun 61, the max power is 3. So I can't put that one in because I only have 2 slots remaining. So I need to get another 2-slot or 2-power engine. And you want to look at the engine thrust and maneuvering thrust. That's also very, very important. Health and hull, not really important in the grand scheme of things. But so I'm going to get, and one of the reasons what makes these particular engines the best is they have fantastic thrust and maneuverability. Not the highest, mind you, not even close. But they're 2 power, so you can multiply it by 6 instead of only like 3 or 4 of the others. Oh, I can. Sweet. So there's our 6th engine, which will give us max power. Mobility is at 100. It looks goofy as all get out. So what I'm going to do, let's move some things around, make it look less goofy. So we're going to unattach. No! Put that back. Our shield. Move it off to the side. We're going to take our reactor. And I normally don't recommend putting your reactor right in the easy spot to get, but that'll look a little bit more balanced than what it was. Again, not going for a ship for looks here. Alright, now let's add some weaponry. I can't. It isn't, like I was saying earlier, certain ones have weapon slots, others do not. This is one of the ones that does not have weapon slots. Because it won't give me the option for weapons. So, we're going to have to swap it out. Oh, I need structural. What am I looking at here? Oop. No, I don't want to do that. The lag is just butchering me right now. Alright, let's figure out what we can attach weapons to. I think we can attach weapons to this. On the top and bottom, I believe. Yep, those are weapon mounts. Perfect. And one thing you can do is you can buy a weapon and you can just move it around. It will let you know where you can attach. So I want to do something. I like my weapons a particular way. I do enjoy the proton beams. The hull damage and shield damage is equal capacity, so you can use it at any point. And they've got a great fire rate, the 3.49, with a fantastic range too. But that's a C class. I don't want to go C. Or A class. I want to go C. A lot of people like using turrets. I don't normally. I like being in control of what I'm shooting, so I usually don't use turrets. You can only have 3 weapon types. You can't have all 4. You can't have energy, missiles, ballistic weapons, and turrets, unfortunately. Eklund doesn't have the best weapons to offer, but they're not terrible. I can always swap them out later. There is my missiles. I really enjoy these, the CE-59s. They're probably the best missiles. Other than the, well, that's debatable because we got the Atla. I like these because of looks. Significant hull damage and shield damage. Good range. Those are much better. Max power is 4. But these have a max power of 3, so I can put 4 of them in. I can only put 3 of these. Debating. We'll do missiles later. The obliterators. Best beam weapons. By far. They're very expensive, but they're great. Max power is 4. No, these I can put 3 in. The other ones I can put 4. Okay. Hull 6. 30 by 30. So I'm probably going to put these in. Let's put some obliterators in. No, I did not grab that. Stupid lag. Put you back in position. Thank you. For the purposes of this, I'm probably going to just do 2 of each type and then show you guys how to assign them. And then, yeah, we'll call that good. We'll paint it. We'll have a working ship. Designed from the ground up. Not the prettiest design, but it'll work. It'll definitely work. So right now, I have 2 of those. Those are not going to do anything. They're not going to show up in the top field until I assign them. So what I can do, if I want to now, is I can go into my flight check. And I can go into weapons. And I can assign which one I want to use. W2, I believe, is the G key. And W0 is left mouse button. W1 is right mouse button. So I'm going to put these on my left. Assign the alpha beams to it. And now you can see that the W0 now has an indicator. I'm going to need more landing gear because my mass is getting too much. So I'm getting errors now because of that. And my Docker needs to be changed. Fantastic. All right. Let's put in some more weapons. That's not a weapon spot. Okay. Like I was saying earlier, you can take and grab your weapons, and you can see it'll highlight your weapon locations. So I got one underneath, one up top, and I don't know if I can go underneath. We have 2 underneath. Yeah, I'm not thrilled with this design, so I can only put on 5 weapons. We can modify that. I'm gonna put my missiles up front. No, I don't have to. I want to use a ballistic weapon. You know what I could do for purposes of this is I could put an auto turret in that top spot, have 2 missile launchers, and have my 2 railguns. Not the most powerful, but it'll definitely protect this ship. We'll do that for now. That way we can get this ship designed and built, and you guys can see what it's all about. Alright, so we have our 2 missiles, 2 rails. And I believe this was a weapon mount. Yes, it is. Alright, so we're going to put in a turret, but I don't want to do a beam turret. I could put a laser turret in. I already have a beam. Laser could work. Pulse laser. Great shield damage, which might be useful. Yeah, the suppressors is your fifth type, and they do electromagnetic damage, which will disable components of the ship, enemy ships. Ooh, Gauss gun. That could be a good one to put on. I'll put the gauze on for now. Now we just gotta assign. I know I'm getting 3 errors. You won't let you go out of the shipyard until you assign your weapons. So we'll go back up to weapons. We'll go to W1, our right mouse for our missile. And we don't need to use the autos. We'll just work automatically. So we'll just assign them to the G key. Yeah, my weapons are kind of garbage right now, but that's okay. We got to address these issues. I don't know why this is not... Oh, because the engine. Poo. So I wonder if I can do an underbelly mount. So we'll remove this. Might be able to. We gotta lower it. So see, it's too high up based. So we gotta lower it down. Using the F key. If you're on keyboard and mouse, F key lowers. Alright. It's not gonna let me mount it there. Do I have a attachment node? Okay, so I have a Docker I could put there, but that's not gonna... That's always goes a side Docker. We don't want that. We need more landing, because apparently we do not have enough. Let's give me an error for having an unattached module. I'm definitely changing out the gear when I get a chance, because I do not like the Ecklenstraud ones. Let's check our flight check. So I should just now, all we really need to worry about now should be the docking station, the Docker. Yeah, see unattached and, okay, Docker. I can spend hours designing these ships. So we're going to have to do something that's going to look a little goofy, guys. And 4 up, but you know what? Gonna have to, we got to do. And I'll go individually, privately, and, you know, redesign this later, but... I just want to show you guys, like, the general basis of it. Yeah, it's going to look goofy as all get out. Now we got to move it back up because I moved it down. So using the R key. And we can attach it. And we're at nominal. We look stupid, but we're at nominal. I'm going to add a little bit of structure. Every time you add something, it's going to add weight to your ship. Well, let's put a porthole there. One mass is nothing. Let's put something structural here. Might be able to put something in here where we can actually add more weaponry. Make it a little bit less goofy looking. See, I believe the nose cap. Yeah, we can put a weapon on the top of that nose. No, see, I want something that's going to be on the side. I can mount to the side. So let's see. That only allowed me to mount on the top and bottom. Which might be my only option at this point. So unless I can mount on the side. Let's see. We'll take our gun. I didn't want to take everything. Come on. Suffering from lag again. Alright, so now we can check. Alright, so it's like I thought it'd be on the top. Nothing on the bottom. We could do another one of these, though, and flip it upside down. Let's just do an experiment, shall we? Oh, I think we can. That way we have a mount on the bottom. Now we can add a weapon here. Alright, so what I think I want to do, so we're going to get rid of the auto turret. Or I could just put 2 more turrets in. The autocannon won't mount there. Pulse laser turrets. Okay, so we're going to do 3 turrets. I think that's what we're going to do. Get some Class C. So many weapon choices. Yeah, we're going to put these bad boys on here, I think. We'll have to change out the top one. Nope, I want to face it the right way, though. So we'll flip it. In front. And I could technically have these just aiming to the sides, which might be even more useful. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to have these two aim to the side, and I'll have the one on top aim forward. That way they can cover the sides. And I know the error it's giving me is because I have too many weapon types. We're going to get rid of this bad boy. Is that the same one I was using? Alright, so we're going to have to assign the weapon now, because that's where we're getting the error. We'll assign that to the turrets, and we're at nominal again. So we don't look as stupid. We've got some decent firepower. Good grav drive. Top speed's a little lacking. Because I have so much mass on this ship, like way too much mass. But I've got decent cargo. Max crew 4. 29 light year. Jump range is pretty good. There's definitely a lot of different factors I could do, different ways of tweaking it to make it a lot more functional, a lot more optimal. But for the purposes of just showing you guys this, that's all I'm gonna do. Now we gotta paint. Now if I can remember how to select everything, because I completely just forgot how to select the entire ship. And I've only built like 14 ships. Okay, it is double clicking any part, so I should. It's just this lag. So we'll take, and there we go, the whole ship. Now we can go to color with J. Instead of, you could also do it piece by piece. I just like doing it all at the same time. So we're going to do color 1. Black could be cool. No, let's do something not black. I'm going to do a dark blue, I think. Let's see how this looks. I'm colorblind as I'll get out, so we'll see. And we'll do secondary, we'll keep it at white. And third color, we can either keep it at white or we can keep it a little bit more colorful. I don't. Oh, we'll do this third as the black base color. And enter. And now we have a completed ship. It doesn't look great, but you know what? It's a functioner. I could add more cargo to it. I can definitely add weapons to it. Just kind of rearrange how I want to do the weaponry. And yeah, let's finish out the ship. We'll hit tab. It's going to cost us 730,000 credits. But we took the Frontier and we completely rebuilt it into a new ship. So let's take it out for a spin. see what it looks like. But first, we're going to see why I'm lagging out like absolute crazy right now. This border. Here's our viewport we put in, looking at the turret. And like I said, we're going to have a long way down. That's our way out. Oops. Oh, I fell to the bottom. So now we have the hab unit we put in, where we put in all our workstations. And our cockpit. Our 5 crew cockpit. We go back here. This should be our living quarters. Sorry about the lag, everybody. I have no idea why the game is being so stupid right now. And it only does this when I stream. Never when I play the game. And this is our laboratory. So we can do pharmaceutical lab and things of that nature. I had 2 research stations, but I built this thing for mostly functionality. So we can sleep in our living quarters. We have our creation area here. We could pretty much build or make anything in the game off this one ship. Take her for her inaugural flight, guys. Like I said, not a looker, but she will function. That's a sign. You put max out our shields. Always max out my shields. A little more engine, because when I'm fighting, I'll put more into the weaponry. And let's take a picture. Oop, hit the wrong button. All right. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you learned a little bit about shipbuilding. And have a great day. And don't forget to check out my podcast, Starfield Raw. And we go over everything Starfield and just have fun doing it.